Welcome to our second episode of We're Right Here. I'm Karen Richards, Director of Marketing at CNB Bank, and today I'm so excited to sit down with Sammi Mellott, one of our mortgage bankers from Washington County. Sammi, welcome.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Let's start with just learning a little bit about you. Tell us about yourself. How'd you get into the mortgage business?
So I will start back. I started my, employment kind of in the service industry. I was I waitressed, I bartended, any social aspect. I love meeting new people. But I quickly transitioned into my first, career path, which is banking. I've stuck with Citibank.
Hmm.
So I was in the credit card industry. I was in the fraud department, and then I went into check fraud. I quickly transitioned into like an administrative role. So I was a senior executive assistant for three senior leaders out at Citibank on state line, on the Pennsylvania Maryland state line. And I was with them for 10 years. And then COVID happened.
Hmm.
They were pushing everybody to work from home. They were closing down the site, pushing everybody to work from home. You'll kind of learn throughout this. I'm not really a work from home girl. I like interacting with folks. So this opportunity presented itself. I had a very nice meeting with Mark and John. They filled me in on all things mortgage, and the rest is history.
And then you joined our team, and we've
Yes.
been so happy to have you.
Thank
So,
you.
when you joined our team, the plan was not for you to be a mortgage banker necessarily, but quickly I think we identified that you're a people person. We got to get you out on the streets and talking with people.
That's right. Yeah, my role, when I got hired, it was kind of a hybrid role. I was going to be doing some administrative
Hmm.
work, and also helping with processing, just kind of wherever I could fit. So quickly, I think, especially because it was during the big refinance
Yeah.
market. So John and Mark and I, they asked if I had interest in becoming a lender. I absolutely did. And my onboarding was very unique, and I really appreciated it because once I started with that transition, I quickly learned the ins and outs of processing a loan file, the ins and outs of underwriting. So how to anticipate what to ask customers for, and then learning how to structure loans.
Hmm.
So the full life cycle of the loan is what I learned, and I'm really appreciative of that.
Yeah, which I can guess probably served you well to learn kind of the back end of the loan before you go out and start making
Absolutely.
loans.
And I mean, really, the only thing I had known about mortgages was I had bought a house
Hmm.
once, you know?
Hmm.
So just the work and the time and how many hands really touch a file to get it to the closing table. It's a really cool life cycle to work through.
So now that you're working for a community bank and you have for several years, tell us the difference between the mortgage process in a community bank versus a large national bank.
So I can't really speak for Citibank's mortgage process, but as far as bank versus big bank, it's just the whole local
Hmm.
aspect and just how much local matters. We reinvest in our community. We're familiar with our community and what the needs are of the community, and then also just the biggest thing I feel is just the local decision making. The president of our bank sits right here at Spring
Yep.
Mills. So if quick decisions need to be made, you pick up the phone and call them. You're not, your file or your question is not waiting in a queue to be answered in 48 to 72 hours. So that's a big
Absolutely.
deal. Yeah.
So, how involved are you with your clients from start to finish?
Oh my goodness. My clients are very, very special to me. So I like to say that they come in as acquaintances, and 95% of them I feel like we leave as friends.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very involved. They know that they can reach me text, email, phone, any time of the day. And I make sure I establish that relationship from the beginning.
Yeah.
So I have everyone's number saved in my phone.
I have no doubt.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah.
So, give us some tips for home buyers. So, if you were to sit down with, let's say, a first time home buyer, give us some tips. What should they be doing?
The biggest aspect is understanding your credit history, your credit score, your overall financial health, and you're just really working towards having uh, understanding what you can afford. I always like to say, what you're pre-qualified for and what you're comfortable your monthly mortgage payment being can be two totally different numbers.
Mhm.
So no one wants to be house poor. So just
Mhm.
really understanding what their comfortability level is as far as a monthly mortgage payment, as far as, and just understanding their financial health. We also look at your income and
Yeah.
stability of your employment, just all of those factors that encompass, can you afford this big purchase? It's a big milestone.
Mhm. I'm happy to hear you say house poor because that's a real
It's
thing.
true.
Yeah, it's a real thing. What mistakes do you see potential home buyers making when they're starting that mortgage process?
So the biggest thing, and any realtor that you talk to will tell you this too, call a lender,
Mhm.
me preferably, to get pre-qualified. They
Yep.
don't want to start showing houses until you know that you're qualified. This is a serious transaction. The other biggest thing, once you kind of get into seeing houses, things like that, and you make an offer on a contract. Um, a lot of folks, I do see some folks waiving inspections. I'm a big supporter of a home inspection.
Get the inspection.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Understanding what comes back on that report, and they'll grade things for you. They'll tell you, it's not that serious. Maybe look at this in a few, just keep an eye on this, or something that needs service right now because the inspection, it's something that can be handled or you can renegotiate with your seller. So I'm a big supporter of inspections.
Yes.
Um, and then the classic one, is not making if you're in the middle of the mortgage process, not going out and buying a car a week before closing. We've already crunched our numbers, made sure your ratios are in line. So no big purchases until after closing.
No big purchases, no job changes,
No
right?
job
You don't wanna see a
changes,
job
yes,
change
big
either.
one also,
Uh-huh.
yes, another great example,
Uh-huh.
no job
Just
changes.
stay put.
Or if something is happening in your life, just be upfront,
Yeah.
just no surprises, be very transparent throughout
There
the
you go.
process
No
because
surprises.
my end goal is to get you to closing,
Right.
so,
Yeah, for sure.
yep.
So tell us about loan products at CNB. Just give us a quick rundown. What do we offer?
So we offer a lot. So
Mhm.
here at the bank, we have a huge construction portfolio. Not many banks anymore lend on land. We do land loans, construction loans. We have an in-house portfolio where we have a hybrid product that can amortize for 15 or 30 years. We have some special programs. Our Community Heroes program, which is geared towards our healthcare workers, teachers, first responders, those folks. There are some certain parameters with that, but it has the option of 100% financing if you fit those guidelines. Our professionals program for our doctors and lawyers. And then we go out to our government loans, FHA, VA loans for our veterans, USDA, 100% financing there, and your down payment assistant programs. I, I feel strongly that as long as we're within our required guidelines or ratios, regulation parameters, everything like that, we will find a product for you.
We've got
So
something for
we
everyone, it
have
sounds
something for
like.
everyone. Absolutely.
Yeah, for
Yes.
sure. So let's talk about the approval process.
Mhm.
What do you consider when approving a mortgage application?
So again, going back to your, your credit history, understanding your credit and financial health is a huge deal. Um, uh, as far as your employment,
Yeah.
typically we like a 2-year work history. Um, as far as yeah, really just those things. I mean, credit is a huge driver. It drives your interest rate. Your debt to income ratio
Mhm.
is also a huge ratio that we talk about. Typically, our standard limit is a 43% or less. And some programs do have a slightly lower debt to income ratio requirement. But those are just some of the things we look at. We just want to make sure there are enough mitigating factors to support you making this
Mhm.
big purchase.
Absolutely.
Mm,
Yeah. So I want to talk to you about building your professional network
yeah.
because you seem to have mastered that. So tell us, how have you done it and what's the importance of having a strong professional network?
So I have lived here my whole life, Washington
Mhm.
County, born and raised. Jumping into the community banking aspect, it there's so much that I did not know about this community. So, being involved with our local organizations, such as your chambers, I mean, my, industry specific are, Penmar Association of Realtors, a huge, organization for me that I was grateful to be a part of, Leadership Washington County,
Mhm.
class 36, best class ever. But just building these networks and taking advantage of these groups and folks that are out there to do, on the same mission as you,
Mhm.
just connect and build your center of influence. And but there's so many opportunities at your fingertips of on how to stay engaged
Yeah.
and interact.
Just gotta
So
take advantage of them, right?
absolutely, absolutely.
So, tell us how you turn a casual acquaintance into part of your network.
I would say typically what I do, especially if I'm meeting someone for the first time at a mixer, I want to learn something new about them. So something that we can connect on, that every time that I see them, or, the next time that I see them, we're talking about that. How's your daughter?
Mm.
I saw you just went on a vacation. How was that? And just really, just staying kind of involved, which, we'll touch on that, I know social media, but just really staying involved and understanding what's important to them, um, scheduling follow-up meetings. Yeah, I
Mhm.
could go on, sorry.
You are everybody's cheerleader,
Oh,
and you're so good at building people up and helping to motivate. Talk to us about the importance of a referral network.
absolutely. So my goal anytime anyone talks about wanting to buy, build, refinance, I want to be the person that they think of. I try, as far as social media, I try to keep everyone in the know. I share, listings for from my fellow or my realtor peers. I am constantly just trying to let folks know, what I do for a living,
Mhm.
but then also keep it personal as well, on social media so they get a glimpse into my life as well. My family is very important to me. My friends are very important to me. I also do mortgages. So, and just building that trust and letting folks know, making folks comfortable to talk with me about
Yeah.
this big decision.
You do a
Yeah.
great job of that on social media. You're always very authentic, and it's always you. It's
Thank
always
you.
Sammy. No matter the platform, no matter the interaction, it's always
I
you.
appreciate that.
What's the best type of events for your network?
I really enjoy visiting the chamber bashes. I actually just left a ribbon cutting ceremony.
Yes.
The economic growth here in Washington County is huge. So anytime you can get out to support a local business that's opening up in the area, definitely going to those. Staying connected with my Leadership Washington County
Mhm.
family. They are great with hosting events throughout the year. I'm a part of their alumni network. I'm a part of their alumni committee. So just staying involved and attending those as you can.
Yeah.
Of course, managing the work life balance.
Sure.
So
Right. Yeah, of
mhm,
course. So I participated in Leadership Berkeley
yes,
here in Berkeley County, and I always hear from Leadership Washington County participants that it's like the best place to make your networking, to
yes,
build your network,
yes,
and that you're making lifelong friends and lifelong additions to that business
absolutely.
network.
Yes, it's a wonderful organization. Yeah.
Do you ever see anyone making mistakes on social media, or have you ever made any mistakes on social media with building your network?
I don't think so, because it is important to me not to make
Yeah.
make mistakes on social media.
Yeah.
I don't talk politics. I think
Hmm.
politics, especially me personally, I don't think they belong, especially if you're using your social media for work and personal all day. But from a work aspect, politics kept to the side.
Sure.
And but as far as I just try to support my centers of influence and um, really just share. That's
Yeah,
really all you
just
can do.
share,
Yep.
right?
Just
Just be
share,
active, be
comment, be
responsive.
active.
Mhm.
Exactly.
For sure.
Yep.
All right. So tell us a little bit about the Brunch and Borrow event. Got a little flyer
Yes.
here. We've got an event coming up on April 12th in Washington County, Brunch and Borrow, mortgage and home financing made simple.
Yes, absolutely. So we have this coming up in a few weeks at the Homewood Suites. We're going to have a panel there just talking all things home financing. Myself, my peer, Jacob Menard, and then our SVP of residential lending, John Menard, will be there. We're encouraging realtors, first time home buyers, folks just looking to get more information on the build process or what programs or grants are available. This is just kind of all things home financing. There will be beverages and some good eats there. So we hope you can join us for this free event. And there will be a nice drawing at the end for a getaway to Rocky Gap.
Nice. So it
Yes.
sounds like everybody's invited.
Everyone is invited. Please sign up.
Get some more information on the products and services that you've talked about already this
Yes.
morning.
Absolutely. Yep. You can RSVP online. We have an event created. We also have a link that you can RSVP to.
Nice. Tell us about the home show.
Yeah, so the home show, one of my favorite events. It was a great hit. It is every year. We work with several local builders in the area, so it's always great to catch up with them. We were the first sponsor this year for the Exhibitors Lounge, which was nice. There's a lot of folks that pool all weekend there. Those are long shifts, so this was a nice place that we sponsored for them to go up and retreat, take a load off, free Wi-Fi. But another great year for the home show, and we're lucky to be a part of it.
Yep. Another great way to build that network, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so speed round. So a little bit about you. What's your favorite food?
Mexican all day.
All day. What's your favorite restaurant?
El Ranchero.
Nice. Could have guessed.
Yeah, El Ranchero.
What's your favorite vacation spot?
Any beach, anywhere, ever.
Favorite pastime?
I like playing pickup volleyball, recreational volleyball.
Of course, right.
And then my husband, fun fact, my husband got me into wrestling, and I'm talking like the fake stuff, WWE, WWF. So we watch a lot of wrestling.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
Yes.
Oh, fun fact. Give us one.
Oh, fun. Well, there was that. Fun fact, I love singing karaoke, and when I was 16, I got a banjo, and I took banjo lessons for 3 or 4 years. Yes.
Nice. Favorite season?
Fall. Not too hot, not too cold.
Okay.
Yes.
Favorite animal?
I'll say dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best thing about working at CNB?
Just the people, the people, and just how much we reinvest in our community. Yeah. This bank is a family to me, so I'm very lucky to be a part of it.
Same. Yeah. Who's been your mentor over your career in the mortgage business?
In the mortgage business, so I was going to say there's different phases of life, right? So I feel like I have mentors in different seasons of my life. Definitely John Menard, my boss. He has just been a wealth of knowledge. I'm still learning things from him every single day. And then also, every single processor, and our underwriters, huge wealth of knowledge. It's just a complete team effort, and I couldn't do anything without them.
Yeah, 100% a team.
For sure.
Well, since you mentioned John.
Yes.
He's here today. He's got a little something for you. So, John, come on in.
Here, you stinker.
Well, I wanted to hear what you said about me, so
man.
I hid for a while.
Oh, okay, all right. It was all good. I'm so glad you're here.
Yeah, well, and we're glad you're here.
Yeah.
I loved the interview. I thought it was
thank
terrific. And the things you said are things I would be saying about you and so forth. You just had a comment a few minutes ago that I thought, man, that's really appropriate. You said you felt like family and you were glad to be here. Well, guess what? We're glad you're here.
Thank you.
Right. And on behalf of the whole bank, not just senior leadership, the whole bank, we want to recognize you, Sammi Mellott, as a CNB Bank Employee of the Year 2024. Well deserved, Sammi.
Very well deserved.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. That is awesome. Thank you, John. Oh my gosh. What an awesome surprise.
And very well deserved.
What an awesome surprise. Oh my gosh. I cannot believe it.
Congratulations. Very well deserved.
Thank you so much.
John,
Holy
tell us
crap.
about Sammi and your work with her over the last few years.
Well, it's really interesting. Her mother-in-law worked with me for about almost 25 years. And when Sammy married into the family, she used to talk about Sammy a lot. And, oh, my new daughter-in-law, she's a spitfire. And then in 2020, we had an opportunity to talk to Sammy about coming to work at CNB. And originally she came in as a kind of a dual role. She was going to process loans for me because I was still originating my own loans at that time. And she was going to work with Mark and the executive team, all of the SLT, to help coordinate and so forth. Well, 2020, 2021 became massive business for the mortgage industry. So quickly, probably within a month, I said, Mark, I got her.
We
You
got to
can't
move
have
her.
her.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So she processed for probably the next 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
roughly. And then I went to Mark and said, she's a salesperson. She's not a long-term processor. And I think from your knowledge of her, and certainly through the interview today, you can see that's true. She's a true salesperson. And she has done just a phenomenal job in Washington County particularly, because that's her marketplace. And you talked about it. I was listening when you talked about building referral sources and making them very loyal and so forth. And she does that. She understands and has understood from the beginning to be successful in this business. It's not 9 to 5.
Yeah.
It's basically it could be a 24/7 kind of thing. You'll get calls at 11 o'clock at night sometimes. You certainly get them on the weekends. And she understands that, and she does that and does it extremely well, works extremely hard, makes great relationships with her referral sources and her clients as well. Her clients, I think I heard her kind of alluding to the fact that a lot of clients become friends and
Yep.
people that she's known, and that's very, very accurate. She does all those things, she does them really well, and still's a great mom to a little 4-year-old. So that's one heck of a achievement.
Yeah, it sure is. And when I said that you're everybody's cheerleader, I meant
Thank
that. You
you.
are. So thank you for your work on the CNB Bank team. Thank you to Andy for letting you be 24/7 whenever you need
Love you,
to
boo.
be.
Thank
But
you.
this is very, very well deserved. We
What
so
an
appreciate
amazing
you.
surprise. This means a lot to me, and I can't wait to hang it in my office. Thank you so much.
Thank
Congratulations.
you.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate your support.
Before we wrap up, anything we missed? Anything you'd like to add?
I don't think so. If you're looking to buy, build, or refi, hit me up. I'd
She's
love
your
to work
girl.
with you.
She's your girl.
Come to our
Alrighty.
brunch and borrow, please.
Yep,
Thank
we'll see
you.
you all there. We're going to get some pictures with the 2024 Employee of the Year, and we'll see you next time.